Oh, they may be playing football and the crowd is yelling, kill the referee. But no matter what the score, when the clock strikes 4, everything stops for tea.
Hi and welcome to Spill the Tea, the show for British expats and everybody that loves all things British. My name's Ian.
And my name is Sam. And we've got a great show lined up for you today. Let me tell you what's coming up. We've got Leroy James. We've got our BFF with Eve, John D. Domenico, and we are finally going to give away Mary Wilson's gorgeous coffee book. So coffee table book.
It's a book about coffee.
It's Mary's book about coffee.
She's diversifying.
She has, and everybody needs to these days.
And you know what's the funny thing? I was just, as I was doing my intro there, I could feel my watch vibrating and I looked down and Mary was actually calling me.
Is she psychic or what?
She is psychic. It's like, not now, Mary, seriously. Good Lord.
That was that. You know what? I enjoyed the show with Mary.
I did too.
I could have just not even asked the question, just sat and listened. Story after story after story.
We could have done a 3-hour show with her,
easily.
actually.
I feel like we just not even scratched the surface.
Well, and actually, she came back in about a week later.
Oh, did she?
Just under a week later, because she was recording a show for Sirius XM.
Nice.
And like the 60s on 6 channel. And she asked whether she could record her show here. And it was all about the girl groups of the 60s. Actually, she went from the 50s to the 70s. And it was really interesting because there was even other stuff on that show that I didn't even know. Like, for example, I can't remember what other group it was now. I think it was called The Angels or something. And they said, and when she did the intro to it, she said the one thing that the Angels had in collaboration or in common with the Supremes is they both picked their name out of a hat.
No way.
They did. The Supremes picked the name out of a hat. I think Florence Ballard picked the name, and that was it.
No way.
I know, isn't that crazy? But no, so that was great. But yes, we do have the book.
It's beautiful.
To be able to, it's a beautiful. In fact, I think it's behind you right there. Do you want to
go?
We're not, as always, we're not exactly overly prepared for this show, but you know, one of these days we're going to do like the last 3 minutes before the show starts to see how crazy it is. There's the book. Isn't
that lovely?
Can we see where she signed it?
Oh yeah, it's on the inside.
It's a page or two in. Maybe next. There it is.
There we go. And it's signed by Mary.
There it is.
So there you go. I'm looking at the wrong camera. There you go.
Yeah.
Matches my dress.
So that's exciting. So we'll leave this up here and we're going to get to that in a little bit.
There you go.
And the deal is for this, by the way, is that we will be asking a question and quite simply, it's the first person to put the correct answer in the post. So, there's no kind of, I was first. It's whoever gets the right answer.
It's quick. You've got to be quick off the mark, as we like to say.
You better be up on your Supremes history.
Supremes.
Right? So look at our colours today.
I know. We're so well coordinated.
And again, we're surprised because we never prepare.
Talk about this stuff.
We've just got it completely dialed in.
I know. Well, we've got some goodies today on our table. We've got... I did talk about the Battenberg and that I put it in the freezer.
I'm going to cough.
Where's the antibacterial?
Yeah. Oh, it's over there.
I now put it in the freezer.
Yeah.
You go in, have a drink.
Thanks. So we got what? Battenberg.
Mr. Kipling's Battenberg. Now, my pal Andy and your pal, he bought 6 of them. You could only buy them in a group of 6 on Amazon. So we split it.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'll stick them in the freezer. Then we're less likely to eat them all at once.
Theoretically.
But then...
What does frozen Battenberg taste like then?
Well, it's just cold.
Yeah. Because you couldn't resist.
But it holds you. You couldn't resist. So I thought, I wonder if it's really hard because I took it out to defrost it.
It's going to be like a piece of rock, isn't it?
But it's not.
It's not?
No.
Oh.
That's why I'm loving cold cake now.
Cold cake.
Cold cake.
It's the cold cake fire.
And I've also got over there some mini sausage rolls.
These are not getting your side of the table.
I forgot the brown sauce. I forgot the brown sauce.
Sausage rolls and Battenberg cake. And actually, you know what? I have to say, this is really not just a food.
We always talk about food.
To torture you guys out there because we're having, unless you happen to have Battenberg and sausage rolls with you, which would be really coincidental and slightly weird. But there is a reason. It's actually, and I have to say this, I know she likes to play it down, but it was actually Sam's birthday yesterday.
It was my birthday.
So
it was.
So a very happy birthday.
Oh,
very happy birthday to you.
Me and my twin sister. It was our birthday, and our grandmother too. who's now in heaven looking down.
And we got
No way!
a little.
Oh, is it a Battenberg cake? Is it a pavlova?
No. I
Is
knew
it a
that one was
pavlova?
covered. Yeah, we're probably not far off though.
Oh, I love. This is so nice of you.
Well, you know, I mean, you can't let the day. And I didn't even know, but somebody else posted on your behalf that it was your birthday.
That was nice.
It was Pam, I think.
Aw.
Yeah.
Oh, what's in here?
Russell. There's a lot of rustling on the microphone right now.
I've got some blinged out hobnobs.
There you go. Not just hobnobs.
Blinged out hobnobs.
Blinged out hobnobs.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Amanda really was the driving force behind that one. So look at that bling.
I'm the fifth. I'm the fourth supreme.
You are. Look at, and they are all real diamonds.
Oh my gosh.
Just so you know.
You love me, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You love me. Thank you.
Yeah, I had to remortgage my house for that.
Are you living in your
in the Airstream.
In your Airstream.
Not yet. I'm still working on it.
Getting there. Thank you.
It's like 300 degrees at the moment. So.
Yeah, it was my birthday yesterday, and a lot of people don't know this, but I have a twin sister. So, of course, it was happy birthday to both of us and our grandmother.
Yeah.
And quite a few friends with our birthday on the same day as well.
Yeah.
It's also Best Friends Day, by the way, June the 8th, which I love that.
Oh, I've just remembered. I haven't even looked up my checker days yet.
Oh, you need to look up your checker days.
Which means it's going to be
Sam's
very...
birthday.
Yeah. Which means it's going to be very impromptu because I'll be reading it for the first time.
Do you know what's nice, though? As you know, I've got a charity, Rockin' for Rescues. We raise money to take the financial pressure off other rescues. And I did a Facebook fundraiser yesterday. I think I'm getting close to $700, which is
great. That's
amazing.
fantastic.
So thanks to everyone who donated. That money is always well spent. We pay for anything from surgeries, food, training, boarding, you name it, just to help out animals in rescue. So thank you for that.
Congratulations.
But yeah, it was a nice birthday. I sometimes have birthdays where it's like, oh yeah, everybody gets together and have a drink, and then some birthdays are very quiet.
Right.
So it's just Jim and I, and we just puddled around town. Just what do we want to do now? What do we want to do now? But the only thing I planned was I did make an afternoon tea.
Of course.
Hence the sausage rolls.
And
I made.
Do you mind if I just
No,
dive
go
into
ahead.
one of these?
So I did quiche, and I did. Oh my gosh, cream puffs. So easy to make. Jam and cream puffs. Go on, go for it, Ian. But I made everything very kind of dainty-like. And we had tea.
They are dainty.
And then,
Look, makes me want to do that.
look at your little finger up. But yeah, it was a lovely birthday.
The sound of my eating is like a weird ASMR type
People
deal.
might get into that, actually, Ian. But yeah, it was a lovely day. And thank you for all the birthday wishes. It's very, very nice of you. So yeah.
Keep talking.
All right, you keep chomping down on that. Last week was the 67th anniversary of the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. Things have been, of course, very different for everybody right now, where they have to be very mindful of, are we going to have these, royal celebrations and stuff. So everything's very tempered right now. But I wanted to make sure that we acknowledge that she was the 39th sovereign to be crowned at Westminster Abbey, the setting for every coronation since 1066.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Pretty incredible.
But while it was, they said, an occasion for celebration, the Queen's coronation was a solemn religious ceremony that lasted almost 3 hours, and the service remained essentially the same for 1,000 years. With that crown on your head for 3 hours and all that garb.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I bet she had a right headache.
Oh, you know what, though? I think the payoff's worth it, isn't it, really?
Oh, yeah. And she's done a beautiful job for us.
Isn't she?
She really has.
Jim... Not could be said of her son, though.
Oh, dear.
I know.
Oh, dear.
He is so in trouble.
Oh, dear.
I think there's a lot more to come out about that.
Oh, dear. And I've just been watching the Jeffrey Epstein series.
Yeah.
Series 2.
Oh.
Episode
I didn't know
2.
there was one.
Episode 2. Yeah. That's not disturbing in the slightest. But yes,
he's just like a train wreck.
But you know how a lot of people feel about it, and I feel about it the same way, is why are you putting our country in a horrible light because of what you've been up to or what you haven't been up to? Do you know what I mean?
He's oblivious.
Yeah. That interview was weird.
It was.
He should have just made a recorded statement.
When I was a kid, I used to hide behind the couch when
Doctor Who came on.
and the Cybermen and everything else. I wanted to do the same thing with Andrew's interview. Yeah. I'd much rather be a 6-year-old watching Cybermen than I would have been an adult watching that interview with Andrew.
I know. It was like
ridiculous.
cringe.
Yeah.
I follow and I'm very interested in this. In fact, I'm actually toying with the idea of getting certified as a body language expert.
What?
Oh, yeah.
That's not a thing.
It is a thing.
I'm a certified body
It's
language
totally a
expert.
thing. They use it for so many things.
What does this mean? What does this mean?
That means you've got corona.
Oh, it does? Yeah, probably. No, they say if somebody's telling you something and they scratch their noses, they're lying.
There are quite a few things.
Because it's like you kind of want to be stopping yourself.
You do. You
do that.
You know.
So if next time somebody's talking to you
and
they're like, yeah, and I saw this elephant down the high street, and then be like, did you?
It's a very interesting. It's used a lot in television and movies, where they observe an audience watching a certain movie as to whether they need to change anything in the movie or the TV show.
Oh.
It's very, very interesting. But there's a ghost body language expert on YouTube. She's very funny. She's just called Ghost Body Language, I think it is.
Okay.
And she did analyse Andrew's interview.
Oh, yeah.
I need to drag them over so our guests can have some of those. Like, really?
There's no guest. We've got one guest in the UK who can just...
He's got no chance.
No.
I mean, that's torturous.
And John, well, good luck.
Do you want a sausage roll before he eats them all? Sausage rolls. Thank God.
John's not here yet. He's not in the studio yet, right?
No.
I'm
talking to a ghost, John.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm very interested in it. But she covers everybody. Absolutely everybody in politics, especially things that are controversial, and she tells you what's going on. The movements are so subtle that she'll say, "Did you catch that?" And you think, "No," and she'll go, "Let's rewind," and she rewinds it, and then she points it out.
It's going to make you so self-conscious.
Oh yeah, totally. So
who we got on today, by the way?
I don't know. Let's have a little look at those.
Michael Novelli. So glad the show is back. We really missed it last week.
We love Michael.
Yeah, last week was a bit beyond our control. It was kind of a bit more of a global sort of social weird kind of. But it didn't work out.
Is it par for the course for 2020 anyway?
Everything's par for the course.
Which we do need to do our funny memes for 2020. They're coming up.
We do.
Because nothing feels right.
Ceremonial, yay. Mick Burns is in the house, and a good morning to you all. Mike Robson in Greece, hi all. And Mike was saying he really enjoyed Mary's interview as well. My mum's watching, obviously.
Yes.
Alicia, hi from Spain. Mick's just getting social with everybody else. You know, he's saying hi to Gillian.
Oh, it's like a.
Good morning from Sue.
It's like, let's meet for a cup of tea, and everybody meets on our chat too, which is great. It is. I love that.
Amanda is watching, although she could actually just be standing in here. Not sure why she's doing that.
It's all an illusion, and
Pam is watching, and thanks Pam, because that's how I got to know it was even Sam's birthday yesterday. Claire Jane is watching. Good morning, and yes, thanks for pointing that out, Pam. I did happen to notice that we spelt John's name wrong in the advertising thing. It was a rush. What can I tell you?
It was Ian's fault,
and I even knew it. I've got fat thumbs. I was doing it on my phone. Appreciate that, Pam. Thought I was going to get away with that.
That's Pam, though. Pam would totally tell you that.
Yeah.
I have to tell you a quick funny story about Pam. We were at a friend's house, and Pam, she's a great cook. And our friend had deviled eggs. And Pam said, "Here, would you like one of these? Not as good as my deviled eggs."
Oh, there it is. There it is.
She tells it as it is. It's so funny. Oh, my dress looks nice on camera.
Also, we got James. James Rose says, "Can we talk about the video that has gone viral this week? The wrong way to make tea. Do we even know that?
Oh my God!
Did you see that?
I did.
I haven't seen it.
I'm going to. Well, I'm right. I'm going to tell you what happened.
Right.
I was outraged. I was completely outraged. So it was an American lady and her daughter that said, "I'm going to show you how to make hot tea." In other words, British tea, which if anyone's watching who's not British, we don't call it hot tea at all. It's just tea. Tea's
so
tea.
That was the clue right there.
Tea's tea. It was like, huh. And the first thing was like, fill the cup with water. Huh?
What?
At the sink.
No.
What? And then put it in the microwave. No, that could not be happening.
This had to be a joke,
well,
surely.
I don't know. I'm hoping it is. And then it was pour the milk in. Well, first of all, I think it was 60 seconds in the microwave. That's not even hot. And then it was pour milk in the water. Then it was throw a tea bag in the top, and then it was throw some sugar in. That's how you make British tea.
She was cruising for a bruising from Everybody British, wasn't she?
See the comments.
Oh, I bet.
If there's anything Brits will unite on, it's tea.
Maybe she was very smart, and that's why she did it.
That's what I'm thinking. I wrote, please tell me this is a joke, and don't ever do that again.
Yeah, for sure.
It was bad. It was so bad. But it was very clever, if that was a joke. If it wasn't, she's just...
it's ridiculous.
She's gained probably...
Well, thanks for that, James. Now I'm going to have to look that up. John D. Domenico is watching, which is great because he's sitting over there.
James said, I threw my phone against the wall.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, Adam Lieberman says that's how Travis would make the tea. Is that right,
Is that
Travis?
how you would make tea, Travis?
No.
How would you make tea?
I don't
Ask us.
I boil water and then just put the bag in the water.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
You've learnt nothing.
Kiera Simpson.
Been around
hello. Where are you watching from, Kiera? Well, I always like to know where you guys are watching from. I saw one back up here. We've got Adriana from West Colombia. Very good.
Who said that they were watching from Spain? Is it a friend of my mum's?
I do not know.
My mummy? My mummy's doing great now. That
Eve Rummel, hello from America.
Yay.
That's specific.
Alicia, where do you live in Spain? My mum lives in Malaga.
Thanks for that. Whereabouts, Eve? Come on, we're not going to actually come and stalk you at your house. You can let us know which part of the country you're in. But that's fine.
Said.
That's fine. Us too.
Do you like my cup?
She is Wonder Woman today.
Little Wonder Woman action.
Yeah. So, all right, let's jump to the check-a-days because we've got 3,000 things to get on the show today.
Busy show
It's going to be a 4-hour show, so get comfortable. Yeah, which is good because John's got another thing to go to. So, lock the doors, Travis. All right, so on checkaday.com, which I have not seen myself yet because I forgot to look it up.
We love Check-a-Day.
Definitely, we should do the last 3 minutes before a show. Like, just run it because we're all going. Have you shared? Have you done this?
We should. If you saw what happened, the 3 minutes prior to when we go live,
you know,
it's amazing what we can do in 3 minutes.
When we first started this show, we would get here at like 7:45 in the morning for a 10 o'clock show.
We did.
We were so prepared. Now you roll up at like 9:35.
I did, yeah. I think it was 9:30. You weren't watching.
I was here at 9, but then I was chatting with Leroy on the thing for a while, and it's like, and Travis is like, "Can you do some work?"
Yeah, he has to keep us in line.
He does. So anyway, checkaday.com. It's Donald Duck Day.
Whack, whack.
No idea what that means.
You're better than I am.
It's National Earl Day. Earl, dedicated to those with a particular qualification and genuine capacity for not reading the rest.
Huh.
Doesn't go anywhere. It's National Strawberry Rhubarb Day. National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day.
You know I love rhubarb.
I do now.
I never see it in the supermarkets, but Katrina.
And the waves?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
No.
Move on. Told me you could get it from the international market in a tin.
Oh, nice. Oh, tinned rhubarb.
I know, but it's better than no
You'll
rhubarb.
like this one. It's World Pet Memorial Day.
Oh, yeah. I've got a friend who's got a rescue. They're doing memorial tiles where people come and paint their pets that have passed over. Oh.
It's Writers' Rights Day.
All right.
Right. And on this day in history, this will be interesting because sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. Yeah, no, nothing. Oh, bad. Oh, 1934, Donald Duck makes his film debut in The Wise Little Hen. So you go. That's why it's National Donald
Did you see
Duck Day.
that Looney Tunes is taking the guns out of? Is it Elmer Fudd? Taking the guns out of his hands. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, we got some good birthdays today.
You just didn't listen, did you?
No, I didn't. Look, I would have done, but this is all in real time right now. I've got to see,
I know.
So it's Johnny Depp's birthday today. He was born in 1963.
Oh, I do like him.
Michael J. Fox's birthday today. Aaron Sorkin, American screenwriter, producer, playwright. Les Paul, American guitarist, and
nice.
And Cole Porter, the American composer.
James, tag me in your tea making video. Tag me, and we'll take a little gander at that.
Hi, Sarah. We got Sarah Thackeray watching from the UK, and Sarah is also got a small thing in common with our first guest that's going to be coming up in a bit. So you're going to watch now just to find out what that is, aren't you? probably. So if you haven't watched this show before, and you are this is the first time, and you're wondering, why am I here?
It's like the kitchen sink.
It is
everything but the kitchen sink today.
We try to cram a lot in. This is Spill the Tea. It is it's for everybody, really. You know, we talk about everything except politics, generally speaking. Sometimes they slip in there, but it happens.
Yeah.
But it's for British expats and people who love all things British, which is what we say at the beginning. So if you are here, like the page, follow the page, tell your friends, share the post, buy the T-shirt. And
and you can even do a watch party. If you actually hit share, it gives you an option to do a watch party with your friends.
Yes, you can do that.
Which I love that little option. You know, this week, Jim discovered spaghetti hoops. Spaghetti.
What?
SpaghettiOs?
No. We were the original. Travis.
What's he saying?
Spaghetti hoops. He's
about-
trying to hijack it.
Is he?
No, they're not
He
the
hasn't
same.
even got a microphone on him today and he's trying to hijack the
They're
show.
not the same. They're not the same. But that's what Jim does to me. He'll say, oh, that's like a whatever, and it's something very inferior. That he's
This
trying to
table's a mess
liken it
today,
to.
by
It
the
is a
way.
bit of a mess today.
Are we going to get to the Battenberg?
Yeah, we'll get to the Battenberg.
Since I lost my sausage
You know
roll.
what? So let's do the 2020 memes.
All right, yeah,
Because
yeah,
I think these perfectly describe
Over to you, Sam.
what we've been experiencing. So there have been a rash of funny memes about 2020, if 2020 was a. So we're going to have a couple of photos where it's, if 2020, oh no, this is coming in July 2020, Jason and the Argonauts.
Yeah, that's about right.
Get ready, you're going to have to fight the Argonauts
I
in
think
July. The next one, if 2020 was a slide.
Yep.
Yep, I think we've all been on that slide. We have another one that's 2020, if it was a slide. That's very accurate. That would really hurt your bum.
Just like 2020 has.
Just like 2020. And then we have one more, which I thought was quite funny. It was just a kidnapping British people must be like.
I think we'd all fall for that one, wouldn't we?
I think we totally would. Isn't that funny? But yeah, the memes are great. If you've got some funny memes about 2020, send them our way.
That's
We'll
fine.
show them on the show.
We got Chris McLaren, first time from Illinois.
Hello, Chris.
Welcome, Chris. Make sure you like and follow.
Like, follow, share, all of that good stuff. We want to grow the audience, which it is growing fast. Do we want to talk about your epic autocorrect this week on the email?
What autocorrect?
When we had someone very kindly contact us to advertise on the show, which you can do, by the way. You just have to contact us.
Oh,
It's the best.
they did. So, yeah. I didn't know you were going to say that. So it was just somebody who was interested in perhaps sponsoring the show. And so you write back and you say, oh, that'd be great. Fantastic, blah, blah, blah. But of course, if you'd like to sponsor the show instead, we've got a slot right for you.
Yeah, we are.
And I put the statistics of the shows down, like, how many viewers we get and what their names and addresses are. And no, not really. And, our reach, post reach and all that stuff. And I went to, I don't even know what the autocorrect was because I meant to put most popular, most viewed show.
Yeah. So then Ian CC'd me.
Which incidentally happened to be our immigration special with Darren Hayman.
Yes, it was
big numbers on that one.
Yeah, big numbers. So
Yeah.
he CC's me. I read it and I leave him a voice message and I go, what did I say to you? Like, did you make me to tell them that what our most hated show was?
And I was like, what's she talking about? I looked back and I'd actually put most hated show.
I thought, is this some new marketing tactic? A little bit like making the tea, that lady making
It's
the tea.
reverse psychology marketing.
I laughed so hard. It was so funny.
Needless to say, I didn't hear back from them. So it is
the
what
most
it is.
hated tea.
Yep, yeah.
Spill the tea. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So
I think because we got three things. I even heard the guest is actually trying to interrupt now. He's going
like come on.
Like, come on, can we get
on with it?
We've
Get
got life to
on
get
with
on with. This goes on for long enough. Shall we go with our first guest?
Yes. Well, do we want to do our BFF or not?
Well, let's discuss the show order first.
Why
Shall we?
not? Because
You can do whatever Sam, it's your world. I just live in it.
I think I'm going to move over to that chair.
Yeah.
That's what I
See,
think.
we had this discussion
We
before
did.
the show. Is that Sam wants to sit there because she doesn't like a profile. I don't like the profile but then I'm going to be like this, and then John's going to be over there. It's going to all be messed up.
But I'll look good.
But you'll look good, and that's all that matters.
I compromised, and I sat here at the beginning as a part of the compromise.
Yeah.
Because I was saying if it was my husband asking me, I said, no, I'm staying right there.
Yeah, but I'm not.
But I'm good to you.
And you know what? Next week we'll go back downstairs to the original studio.
Right.
And that'll
And
do
that'll
ya.
take care
That'll
of it.
take care of you. Do we want to go back down to the original studio?
I don't know.
Do you guys prefer the
Let
downstairs
us
studio
know
or the
which
upstairs
studio you prefer. I mean,
The other one's a lot more
Britishy.
Oh man, I didn't bring in any props.
we have no well, we're the props. We're the Britishness of the show.
I can't believe it. They're all sitting out on my desk.
This is the best prop. And we're
It
gonna,
is.
We're going to eat that shortly.
That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. We've got a very generic
Let
looking
us
set
know.
today.
Do you like our actual set, or do you like? I like the lighting in here, but I do love the Britishness of our other set.
All right. Well, we can see it. Well, no. If we do the first interview, then we can. I don't know. Then we'll do BFF.
I'll
and
scoot
then-
over then.
All right.
Did you
All
like
right.
the
Well, I
sausage?
think
Did you
we've
like the sausage
decided.
rolls?
I love the sausage rolls.
Yeah, you can
I
have
need-
more of those. Let's bring them over here.
Thank you.
I'm going to move.
All right. Finally, now that we've established what's happening on the show today, our first guest is he's an actor. He's a musician. He's a songwriter. He's awesomeness personified. Fast.
You're live.
Oh, we're
this
back.
We are?
Just on this one though.
We're back.
Oh, we're on that one. Well, that was weird.
Whoa.
We had a complete power cut. Now, we're not talking dodgy Wi-Fi or anything.
No, it went.
We
black.
had a complete power cut, and all the lights went out, and Travis ran away and turned
Just
them back
to
on.
prove that.
So in the meantime, maybe we should go to. Can we go to a BFF?
Yeah.
Oh, let's do that.
Why don't we just go to a BFF? That gives
cupcake.
us about 3 minutes to figure stuff out.
So today, whilst we're at home, I thought I would show you some of my top 5 exercises to do at home for the abs with no equipment. So let's get to this exercise we're going to do to get the whole body warmed up, and is a good, trusted, old favourite is the plank. So 2 modifications to this, let's go. Exercise number 2 is side plank. So remember, when you do one side, just to switch over to the other. Again, 2 variations to make this as easy or as hard as you want. Modifications for this one. You can either use your arms here for support, or you can do option 2 with arms, which we're going to do. The next exercise we're going to do is for that really difficult to tackle area of our lower abs. If you have any back pain at all, I definitely suggest not lowering the legs quite as far, or just skipping this exercise and going back to the plank instead, but no rest. The last exercise we're going to do, you have 2 options. You can either do a bicycle for the easy option, or you can do a Russian twist. Now, the slower you do the Russian twist, the harder it actually is.
And we're back. And we're back.
Oh, we should have been videoing what's going on.
Oh, I actually was going to try and go live during that little mess, but I don't know if you guys got that, but the whole studio went down.
It just went dark.
It went dark, and
is that a power thing?
I don't know. I think somebody turned the microwave on basically and just
tripped it off.
And tripped the switch.
The whole show.
I don't know. So anyway, thanks for staying with us.
Thank you.
Through that little technical hiccup.
Thank you to Eve.
Oh yes, thank you for Eve.
I love those exercises that you don't need equipment for. You just use your own body weight.
On that basis, I should be pretty darn worked out then.
Why? What have you been doing?
Eating the sausage rolls. See, she's moved now.
Eve,
you can't see us up behind you either.
This is Ian's bicep curl exercise.
Yeah. Delayed gratification. Only on the actually get to.
Well, I think it's. Oh my gosh, you went really fast then on the screen. That was funny.
All right, let's get on with this.
I think it's time to bring on
yes
our most fabulous guest. We've got John D. Domenico with us.
Wait. We got.
Oh,
we haven't talked.
I'm all kerfuffled. I'm messing up.
This is one of those shows, people.
I'm messing up.
Thanks for staying
John,
with
I'm
us.
messing up. Oh my gosh.
Blackout, so it's
sometimes we're slick.
You lost your
sometimes we know what we're doing, and sometimes it's today. 2020.
2020.
See?
Hashtag 2020.
Created our own meme. But she still moved her seat onto that one.
I did.
All right. So our first guest, he's been very patiently hanging in there from Brighton, in what is that? West Sussex?
Yeah, it is.
All right. Yeah. Well, shush now. It's where was I? It was songwriter, musician, actor, and just epic person all round. It's my good friend Leroy James.
Welcome to the show.
Hello, mate. How you doing? Was that you? Was that like the power of our satellite transmission trying to pick you up that meant everything went down?
I know. It's just the energy that's coming off. Obviously,
I can see that. And you've got this really good 80s kind of light through the Venetian blind hot video look going on.
I'd wait for you to pick up on that. The classic kind of the blind shot.
I can see that. Yeah. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Now you've had a very interesting little history. I mean, you are a musician and you're an incredible performer. But you're a bit of an all-rounder. You write and do everything, right?
Yeah, I've been writing songs for most of my life, I guess, and I still am, and I'm still actively playing in bands and stuff like that. Two major things. One is a rock band called The Gift, and just recently I've just been doing some stuff with a rather talented young lady called Charlotte Henry. So watch that space. That's going to be something I'm really quite excited about.
Oh, that'll be good. That'll be good. We will. We'll make sure we put a link to it so we can share that.
What genre of music is your favourite music then to create?
If you looked at my iPod, you wouldn't know. You'd have no idea what I like. Quite interesting. You talking about Mary Wilson there. I think the Supremes were the first music I ever saw on TV, and I don't know. You young kids, don't you remember the old Sunday night at London Palladium?
Yes.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Well, I saw the Supremes on Sunday night at London Palladium, and I've been hooked on Motown ever since.
Yeah.
But over the course of time, I've gone through rock, soul, punk, metal, prog rock. You name it. I mean, it's all music as far as I'm concerned. So it's country, the lot.
You had me right up until you said country, and then you lost me.
You know what I particularly like, though? The true original country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because country really is crossed over into pop now, hasn't it?
I've still got to expand my horizons into country
you need
to
to
appreciate
listen to
it.
some. Yeah,
I do. Now, you also had the opportunity to do a little bit of work with Lionel Richie, did you not?
I did, yeah. I through my former manager, is a rather major concert promoter called Barry Marshall. Marshall, and they were. He was, and still is, Lionel's European concert promoter. And one time he asked us if we could do a bit of a remix for him, and we did, and he really liked it. And
Nice.
But it was all about the politics of the producer at times that didn't get released.
Oh, what a shame!
So close.
That's the music business for you.
Yeah,
it really
it's
is.
savage. It's a savage business, the music industry.
So now on the other side of it, you've also been a bit of an actor as well, bit of a thespian somewhat, huh?
Yeah, I've been around sort of TV and movie sets for a long time, and weirdly enough, the first thing I ever did was I took a friend of mine to register with a casting agency. And I was just sat there waiting for her to come out. And she sort of came, and this guy sort of walked past and said, you ever thought about doing film work? And I said, no.
Oh.
And then the first film he got me on was Eyes Wide Shut.
No way!
And I witnessed the legend that is Stanley Kubrick.
Oh,
Wow.
my goodness.
And it was his last film. but that was quite a thing.
Now, there is one particular film that you featured in, which I think I put on the publicity shot of the.
Do people know it?
Do people know? It's a little select niche audience movie.
Yeah. So they may not have seen it or heard of it.
Yeah. So Star Wars. The only downside is, though, you were in episode 1, which is the same one that had Jar Jar Binks. So here's the problem. That is the problem.
He killed it for. But the thing is, we didn't even know he existed until the actual film came out, because obviously he's an animated character. So while we're, this is really, really cool. We're having such fun playing cowboys and stuff in space. And then when we see the final film, it's got Jar Jar Binks in it.
And you're like, what's that?
Gosh.
I know.
So now you were the a Naboo Palace guard. Is that right?
I think we should show that photograph.
We should, actually. There he is.
I love that get-up.
How did you go from... Because, I mean, effectively, there was a bunch of Naboo Palace guards in the movie. How did you... And this is actually a fact. You became the Naboo Palace guard. Like in all the merchandise...
You were the one?
And any image, if you Google Naboo Palace guard, it's going to be him. Now, how did that occur?
It was kind of weird because we were all sort of, standing around in the kind of change room and, sort of, checking each other in the mirror and stuff like that, like boys with, toys do.
Yes.
And then this photographer came wandering around us, and he said, hey, I'd like you to take you out, and you're all right for having some photos done. I said, yeah, okay.
I've used that line many a time in the past.
That's all kinds of wrong.
Yeah. It's all right. He knows me.
Yeah. That's why he's not sure.
And then just took me in this kind of whitened room, and then just said, strike a few poses. And there you go. Then next thing I know, I'm in the official book, and then I got immortalised in plastic.
So you actually have your own action figure, is that right? And just so happens,
no way!
I have one right here.
That's brilliant.
Look, this is you. Wait, hold on. Let's get this up to. Oh, there it is.
Oh, fantastic.
Here's one I filmed earlier.
Oh, I'm telling you, that's
Look
amazing.
At that. Isn't that great? Oh.
Give you a little kiss there.
It is. So that's pretty impressive.
We've only just met.
I know. A little bit forward.
That's pretty impressive. So I've actually had this for quite a few years, actually.
Have you really?
I have. And you usually come over here at least once a year to Las Vegas. And I was like, you're going to have to sign it for me, but you've yet to sign it.
I thought he was going to give it to you. No, you can sign it.
You must have your own, right?
I've got a couple, yeah.
You got a couple, yeah, exactly. So there it is.
That was the right answer for Ian.
My mate's a toy.
My mate's a toy. I think that's amazing. I love Star Wars myself. My husband, I'm friends with I'm friends with Debbie Reynolds' son. And, you know, and his sister, of course, is Carrie and whatever. And I've been to her house and whatever. But for Christmas, Todd gave Jim, and I'd never seen it before. It's a handbook of how to be a Jedi.
Oh.
It's so fantastic that it looks like it's got notes in the margins and stuff.
Oh, nice.
It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I don't even know if you can buy it, but it was a lovely gift. But I love Star Wars. I've got a little piece of film of Obi-Wan Kenobi that came off the cutting room floor.
Oh, wow.
I've got some interesting
That'll be worth something.
It will be, I think.
You should get like a cell. You know when they do like the cell, like in animation, but you could get one of those frames blown up.
Yeah.
As a
That'd be cool.
Picture. You should totally should.
It's locked away safely.
It's locked away.
But I do love Star Wars. I really do love Star Wars.
No, but it was a cool experience though, was it?
Oh, I bet.
It was absolutely brilliant. I mean, what was quite interesting is that when we got on there, we found out that literally because there was the first three, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And then there was a bit of hiatus while they were sort of working out what the next one was going to be.
Right.
And when it let slip that they were going to make episode 1, all the agencies were literally just flooded with mail from all over the world saying, I want to be on it, no matter what, I will pay you to be on literally bags and bags and bags and bags of mail. And we got to get paid for it.
You got paid for it. Well, and even William and Harry got to be stormtroopers in one of the latest episodes.
But that's right. Yeah.
Did you not know that?
They must have some connections.
They must have some connections somewhere along the line. Yeah, but exactly. So you got to be part. So do you go to like the conventions and things?
Well, I actually, this is kind of weird. I did one a little while ago in, where was it? Eastbourne, I think it was.
Ah, yes, the entertainment and movie capital of the world.
Yeah. No, but they have these conventions literally all over the country just by enthusiasts, and who else was there? They had Peter Purvis, would you believe?
Peter Purvis, Blue Peter.
Blue Peter.
That is bizarre.
Yeah.
Wow,
that is so random.
That is random.
And also Sylvester. What's that? The Doctor Who.
McCoy.
Sylvester McCoy. He was. Well,
I thought you were going to say Stallone then. Then I'd have been impressed if he made it all the way to Eastbourne. He'd be about the average age of somebody in Eastbourne.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
You know.
I know. But it's very, very sort of strange when you're standing there, sort of signing all these autographs for some very enthusiastic fans.
No, I'm sure. Well, I always introduce you as my friend from Star Wars, so you know. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So now, obviously, you're still in the UK, and a lot of our audience are not. So we've been having the lockdown, and it strikes me because I've listened a lot to LBC almost on a daily basis. It's quite obsessive, and so does Sam.
Yeah.
It seems like the whole lockdown, the whole seriousness of it is still being taken on a lot more than it is elsewhere. Like over here, it feels quite like as an option. You know, would you like the lockdown or would you like the soup? It just doesn't seem just doesn't seem like it's as much of a thing. But over there, is it still pretty much kind of in place?
Yeah, I think it's one of those sort of things where there's a lot of controversy over the fact that again, without getting into the politics, that the government were slow to take it up and go into lockdown.
Right.
And as a consequence, the death rate went, through the one time London was the epicenter, and it was just going ballistic.
Yeah.
And which is horrible. And it was a lot of the care homes that were suffering the most.
Yeah. They were forgotten almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there was massive controversy over, lack of PPE and then the ventilators and blah 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 blah. But then, I mean, if you add a sense of balance to all this, nothing has ever happened like this in the world, ever, ever, ever. So it's easy to retrospectively sort of blame this. Oh, you should have done this. You should have done that. No one knew it was going to be like this.
No.
So do you feel like you're being because the way I'm perceiving it where I listen is that and even the government adverts that you hear on between the interviews,
they're very different.
It's like they're like pretty much trying to prepare you for this being a new way of life, not just hey, we're going to get this under control and then we'll move on.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Is that how it feels over there?
Yeah, I mean it's very, very strange because I think they're desperate to relax lockdown because obviously the economy is going through the floor right now.
Yeah.
And so I think probably for most people the most important thing is probably being the last thing that's going to get relaxed, like pubs, restaurants, theatres,
entertainment,
all this that we gather in large numbers to have fun. Basically, these are the last places that are going to.
Yeah, I get that for sure. Really. And of course, you've had all the demonstrations and the gatherings like everywhere around the world really in the last week or so, which of course goes very much against that principle. But I guess the only thing we'll see what happens in a couple of weeks' time. I mean, that's going to be the indicator of whether that goes up or not, I suppose. But did you have any in Brighton there?
Well, yeah, I think they had it down in Brighton. I think all the major cities have been having protests.
Yeah.
It's been it's quite interesting. I'm just hoping that with the protests that I think weirdly enough, because I think everyone's been forced into this situation where we're actually now talking to each other before the George Floyd thing, because of social distancing, we've not been able to actually meet up with each other. Everyone's been doing virtual conversations, catching up with old friends and stuff like that. There's been a different kind of communication that's been going on, which I think has been a good thing, as people are reconnecting.
Yes, I agree.
So now with this awful situation, maybe now is the right time to reconnect in a positive way. And re-listen to each other.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
that's really interesting because I think you're right. I think the lockdown itself created a whole new sort of way of, like, I would go out for walks and everything, and you'd see people tend, if you did see people, they're a lot more respectful and a lot more kind of, oh hey, but I've noticed in the last week or so people are starting to get a bit like but hopefully it won't. Hopefully it'll stay, and obviously with everything that's been going on, hopefully that dialogue will continue and people will just be.
I think people are
open.
Appreciating relationships more.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think so.
Absolutely. I think we probably sort of hit a critical mass of the fact that I don't know where it happened like in your guys' world, but in my world, one of the biggest frustrations is that people don't pick up the phone. It's like
that's me. That's me.
Yeah.
I see it ring and I go, no.
Exactly, and then you start this bizarre conversation over text.
Yes. Yeah, I know, which is not the clearest way to communicate.
But now people are actually speaking again, and video calling or Skyping or Zooming or
that's
stuff,
great,
because that's the only connection we have.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So maybe we're rewiring ourselves back to being humans again.
Yes, and that's a good thing.
It would be nice.
It's a really good thing.
So now, what are you also, apart from all these other things that you do, you have like a side gig as well, a little side hustle, which is the Arbonne range of stuff.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
So and usually you're over here in April, isn't it?
That's
for their big kind of international conference, and then we get together and we get to hang out for a couple of days, which is nice. But you didn't this year, obviously.
Right. Yeah, well, unfortunately, the conference was done on a virtual basis because it's normally at the MGM Grand.
Yeah.
18,000 people sort of just coming from all over the world and joining a massive celebration and party, and also it's the launch of new products and stuff like that. Getting an idea of where the company is, and the company has been sort of growing, year and year, and in Britain, it's been doing sort of phenomenal business.
Yeah. Well, Sarah Thackeray,
recently.
that's the link because Sarah is also a representative of Arbonne. So she was. We said earlier on, there's a link you've got with this guest. So Sarah, that's your link.
Yes,
You both
that's
do
your
this
link.
thing. So is there a we'll actually in the comments we'll make sure we put a link to your particular because you have like a location where people can connect with you if they want to learn more. So we'll make sure we put that in the comments down here as well, so we can get you a little bit of business maybe.
Well, everybody has to diversify as well now.
They do,
don't they? So whether you're on Star Wars or whether you're putting an album out or Lionel Richie or you're doing the Arbonne, I'm telling you, everybody needs to diversify. Absolutely, they do.
Exactly.
And I think it's certainly forced people to do some new things in this era.
It has. Well, listen, mate, thank you so much for being with us today.
Lovely talking to you.
We're only on the third hour of our show now, so we've got to bounce on because we've got.
Sorry, we don't have any Battenberg for you.
I know, but I can show you the Battenberg. It's very nice.
And the sausage rolls.
It's right there.
Just on that, as soon as you mentioned Battenberg, I immediately thought of angel cake.
Oh, did you really?
See, that's a whole other thing now. I'm gonna have to start making this. I'm not gonna be making a challenge. We did our cooking challenge. I'm not gonna do sausage rolls those because these are really good.
You like them? I'm glad you like them.
I'm not gonna do
the
that
lady ones, very dainty.
Yeah.
Next week, do pork pies.
That looks difficult.
A Melton Mowbray. I could do with a Melton Mowbray.
Now you're talking.
It always comes back to food.
All right, mate. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
We'll see you in Vegas when you get to come back.
We will for sure. And if I get back over there before then, we'll definitely catch up as always.
Absolutely. Pleasure.
All right, mate. Take care. Thanks for being with us. See you then. Bye.
He's so handsome.
Isn't he so
handsome?
He is annoyingly handsome.
You can tell he's nice.
Yeah, he is.
He's a nice boy.
He can still hear us. Travis hasn't taken the volume down yet.
So I've kissed his little action figure.
Yes. Now, if somebody hadn't actually just tuned in and you just heard, and I kissed his little action figure, that probably doesn't sound good. So we will just make sure that people realise that is what she's talking about.
That's exactly what I'm talking
So
about.
moving on.
Into
the third, fourth, fifth hour of our telethon.
I'm going to finally get this right. Now, our next guest. If you don't know who he is, I don't know where you've been because everybody's been at home watching television and on YouTube. Our next guest is John Domenico. He's an actor, he's a writer, a comedian, and you'll most certainly know him as an impersonator. And he's our wonderful guest today, and we're going to lure him in with some Battenberg. So come on in, John. You see, this is how
From Las Vegas, Nevada, and he's been a comedian since the age of 5. Please welcome John Domenico.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody.
Our next guest, an Emmy-nominated actor, comedian, has been an entertainer in off-Broadway presentations, on television, corporate events worldwide for several decades now. Master impersonator.
John Domenico is the world's most successful Trump impersonator.
The #1 Donald Trump impersonator.
Doing Trump since 2005 or something?
2004, I did my first few voiceovers, and then 2006, I was actually on Fox and Friends.
We hear you've just been named the world's best Donald Trump impersonator.
You're the best impersonator I have seen, because there have been a bunch of them.
We're gonna make America great again.
We will make America great again.
I'm absolutely amazing, I have to tell you. I have to tell you.
And I have to tell you. I have to tell you. And I have to tell you.
They love me. They love me. They're calling me their boo. They're calling me their boo.
Then it led to all of these, over 50, 60 appearances on Conan O'Brien's show.
On Conan, on Fox, on Red Eye. I'm the voice of Trump on the Trump cast.
Are you feeling Trumpy?
Very Trumpy.
I told you would know who he is, and that's just the tip of the iceberg of John's talent. And right next to me here is John. He's been here forever. I think he feels like he's never going to leave, and he's been kidnapped by the Brits.
Welcome
what
to the
a show today!
I'm so excited to be on. It's great. It's been fun.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's been an eventful one already.
How do I get on a Star Wars
package? I tell you what.
Man.
Yeah, seriously.
I think you're going to have your own version one of these days. You know.
Now, I think a lot of people that already have seen you as Trump probably think you're a completely different person today.
Yeah, it's funny because I've done so much. I did in the from the time he announced, from the time he was elected, I did over 300 interviews on network TV. I was on the Today Show in Australia.
You were on with Holly and
Oh yeah, I was on 6.
England.
I was on 6 times on that show. And the thing is, like,
on This Morning?
On This Morning.
That's
6 times.
Wow.
And the thing is, it's so weird because I'm always wearing a mask and no one knows who I
Yeah.
if it had been me on those shows all those times, everyone would know who I am, but I'm always wearing a mask of some kind.
Yeah, because a lot of people go, that's him?
Yeah,
But
they have no idea.
Are obviously known for your Trump. I mean, I've said to you before, I think you're better than Trump.
Well, thank you. The highest compliment is you're more Trump than Trump, which I think is absolutely tremendous.
Now,
I
the first time...
really appreciate that.
The first time... Yeah. You were in the studio here and you were doing a pilot for... a talk show with Gary Bushell, of all places. Now, I mean, some of the people back in the UK probably know of Gary. But you were a guest, and this was the first time that you were doing the makeup and you got into character and everything. And this show is not about politics.
No,
and you're not very political.
I try
either.
not to be. Yeah, it's more his personality.
And sometimes, I think we're actually probably. Who knows what the colours mean today? But but I do remember my compliment to you is that you are so good.
Yeah.
I wanted to punch you in the face.
Right, I've heard that many times. I've actually had that happen.
But it was
English.
It was really meant as a compliment.
Yeah, no, I get 2 things. I get people who will, on my Facebook and other social media platforms, say, "You're so good, I want to punch you," or or the one that I think is the nicest compliment is, "I like your Trump."
I like your Trump.
I like your Trump. Like it's like a warmer, nicer Trump. So it's
and you don't have the nuclear code. I can't even say it.
Nuclear.
The nuclear football. I have it right here.
Yeah, exactly.
I always have it with me.
Yeah, and then I come out with that cake.
Yeah.
but it does come from. I mean, and I didn't even think about this until we were just sitting here. But there is a reason because we had a photograph taken like you would do,
and you had a real one.
I did because as an event producer, myself and my friend Nikki Dewhurst, we got to produce the groundbreaking for the Trump hotel here.
Oh, I didn't know
the greatest hotel in all of Las Vegas.
Well,
if it's not a Trump hotel, it's a Dump hotel.
And actually, interestingly, the official title is the Trump International
Tower, right?
Trump International Tower and Hotel, I think, or something.
Right. That's
Yeah, but I if you really just forgot the fact it is a hotel, it's the Trump International Tower, or for short, Trump Internet. Never mind.
Well, he always calls it like the one in Chicago. It's always Trump Tower. He doesn't call it Trump. It's Trump Tower.
It's
Trump Tower.
So, and I was thinking because and I'm sure where we're actually, I'm probably on this one is the reason I kind of got it. So, can we zoom in?
No way.
That's
your hair looks like his.
Wait, hold on. There we go.
Look at that. Classic Trump hair. What year is that?
That's 2005. It's that year.
Wow.
2005. And we were actually having an argument.
Oh, gosh. About what?
I can't imagine.
What was it about?
Well, we were just getting ready to do he was about to walk out and he decided he wanted to change everything.
Oh.
Like at the last minute.
Yeah, nope.
And the only thing is if I get really mad, I know that top lip kind of curls. For me.
Right.
So I knew I was mad, and I think in my mind, I was having
you're
to filter.
reliving it. You're having PTSD.
Yeah, exactly. I was having to filter
Trump
the words.
PTSD. It's the best kind of PTSD.
Yeah. So anyway, that was interesting.
What I have a hard time doing is watching anything with a Trump and just going, they're rubbish. They need to switch that one out with John. So if you've watched The Windsors, which is a very funny series on Netflix, I do not like that Trump. I think it needs. I
have to watch. I think
it needs to be you.
Yeah,
it needs to be you.
Yeah,
but
I recently worked with Alec Baldwin. I think it was in February, and he was very complimentary. He even
You're
said,
better than him.
Well, he said that.
Yeah.
He was very nice.
Oh, that is a very nice compliment.
He said most people think my Trump is horrible, but yours. He was really, really nice and very complimentary.
But
I opened for him at an event. So
did
it was
you really?
Yeah.
Now you started. I mean, Trump is not your only character.
Oh no, I've been doing voices since I was 5 years old.
You started you just had this talent because your nuances are amazing, I have to say, and your body
thank you.
language.
Yeah, it's a lot of I think I started as a kid. I had a severe speech impediment, And when I did the voices, the impediment was gone. So I love doing the voices for multiple reasons. I got affirmation from adults around me and they loved it. I'm this precocious kid. And I had grown up in this row home neighborhood outside of Philadelphia. So the neighbors in the summer and the warm months would sit outside. Not everyone had air conditioning. So I would come out and be Ed Sullivan. Now, right here on our show, the fabulous Garbacho brothers and Girl Scout Troop 625. Girls, stand up and show us your cookies. So the adults loved that I would watch Ed Sullivan and see John Biner and just come out and essentially repeat his act because I was really I loved it. So I developed Groucho and James Cagney, all the classics that all those impersonators were doing at the time. So I learned those voices, and then when I went into first grade, they tested me, and then I was not diagnosed, whatever the terminology is, and then I did 8 years of speech therapy.
Wow.
Wissahickon School District, where I'm from, outside of Philly. And those 8 years really taught me the mechanics, fixed my impediment, but then taught me the mechanics of manipulating my voice. So you can do Austin Powers, baby.
There he is. There he is.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
That's so
I
good.
just love it, baby. Yeah. She's shag now and shag later. Let's do both. Feeling quite randy this morning. Yeah. So it really gave me like this. It was like an 8-year master's class in how to kind of stretch my voice and change things and fix things. They were fixing things, but I was like, oh, if I do this and I change this and I can get this sound.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, because I like your Dr. Phil.
What were you thinking? Hey, hold on a second. I got to take the glasses off. I have to tell you, it doesn't matter how flat you make a pancake. It's got two sides, okay? In Plano, Texas, where I'm from, everybody knows you come to me for homespun advice.
That's
I'm telling you, this is so great.
Yeah. Wow, it is. It's an art, really. It is an absolute.
It's a lot of practice.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes.
I'm sure. So now with the lockdown, you've been. I mean, you'd think a lot of entertainers don't have an opportunity to work a lot because of this lockdown, but you've been just everywhere.
I've been really busy. As of yesterday, I was on Howard Stern for the second time, but he played one of my viral videos.
Yeah.
And yesterday he had me on to do 15 minutes as Trump. So it was a lot of writing. I had to get up at 3:15 in the morning, so I was ready to go at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
It was very exciting. I had very little sleep.
That's
my
a lot
voice
of
is still
material.
a lot of material. I had prepped a lot of material, but the funny thing is, I probably wouldn't have been on Howard Stern without it sounds so crazy to say this, without the pandemic, because what's going on is the way I'm actually working pretty much every day. When I get back, I'll get into Trump and some other characters. When I'm doing cameo videos, I'm doing these cameo shout-outs, and I'm doing anywhere from 10 to 12 of those a day. And at the end of the day, I would, I was seeing a lot of people were posting more content. I was like, I got to do some original content. I've got to do some. So I would just quickly write something out. And one of those was extremely negative, which Trump had basically said himself. He'd gotten the COVID test. So I just said, you know what? I mean, it was so negative. It was positive. I have to tell you, it was beautifully negative. It was eloquently negative. They said it was the most negative test they've ever seen on the testing spectrum of testing negative. So, I mean, other people test, but I tested negative. And that took off. And then I did another one. And Piers Morgan played that on his show.
That's right.
I saw that. Yeah.
Right. And then Stern played it within a day. I think Stern was actually first. So all these things were happening, and I thought, oh, this is great. I should do some more. So it's been like a week since I haven't done anything. But the funny thing is, every time I think of something like, oh, I should do something on X, and within a day, it's already on to the next crisis or the next thing, or everybody shifts to him being in the bunker, or everyone shifts to this, or everyone shifts to, so even with Howard yesterday, I was trying to figure out like what's still relevant.
Right. Yeah, because every day is something
it just
different.
moves so quickly.
It's good for material, though. I mean, because it never labors one point.
Yeah, and it's funny. Last year when I was doing the Outrageous Brunch, and I was doing the show a couple times a week, I would put in stuff that day that happened that morning, and people in the audience weren't getting it. I noticed like there was a 2-day lag with Joe Average because I'm consuming this
until they picked it up.
Until they picked now, because of everyone's home. Yeah. Everything's like same day, right now. It's all happening at once. So it's the gift that keeps giving in one sense, but in another sense, it's I can't write a set, and that set will not stay relevant.
Right.
I have to be writing all new material. So I'm going to probably be doing a viral video today about Trump and them, defunding the police. You can't defund the police. What's it going to be? You know what I mean? Who's going to investigate the murders? Crossing guards? Come on. You can't have that. We've got to, it's law and order, not, takeout.
I will say, though, I feel like you've embraced like a lot of new things too, like TikTok.
Oh yeah.
What did you think of TikTok before you were on TikTok?
I was like, oh my God, another platform.
I know.
And Michelle was really big on the platform. I mean, she was, we got to get on TikTok. You're home all the time. Shoot these videos. They're super fast. They're 15 seconds. I'm like, I would do a day of shooting, and I was like, oh my God. She says, you have to dance, you do this, you do this. I'm like, really? I have to follow somebody else's lead. And the first one we did got 27 million likes.
The first one?
The very first one. They has a weird algorithm, but it took off. I think because most people are themselves in their pajamas and sweats.
Yes.
I was in full makeup on a set, and it just took off. It's not on. Fortunately, we did the first few on her TikTok account.
Oh, right.
And that brought in all of these followers, and then we're thinking, well, we better set up my account.
Yeah.
And now I'm an also ran to Michelle. But it's pretty amazing. And we've noticed with TikTok, it rolls out per country. So it'll go through India, and we'll see all these people duetting. Do you do the duetting thing?
Yes.
So people are duetting with me as Trump in India, and then they're duetting like a few days later in Vietnam.
What is duetting?
Duetting is taking what I did. Like say I copy someone's dance number, and then I make it my own.
Right.
Then somebody's able to split the screen and then dance with me.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I see.
this woman, the one that brought tears to our eyes, was a little boy in India, obviously in this impoverished village, following me.
Oh,
and then another Indian woman in her sari in a very like kind of little dark area. This is
that's got to feel really empowering.
It
I mean, the
feels
reach there.
so I don't know what. I mean, it's so sweet that you're reaching people because as a performer you want to reach people, you want to affect people either with comedy or pathos or whatever it is. But to watch someone following your bit, it's like wow. The power. It's truly the positive side of social media.
I love TikTok. I've got to say.
Oh my God!
Did you do that?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
We need to get on TikTok, me and you.
Sure.
You can dance.
It is crazy. And then Michelle, we got to do more. We got to do more. We got to do more. And I would be like, I'm so tired.
Does Michelle give you a day off?
But then I get Variety and I get Hollywood Reporter, and within a week they both had TikTok on the cover.
Oh
and
my
this
gosh.
girl Charlie, who's like the main TikTok kid, who's become a multimillionaire at 15.
Right.
It's just it's amazing. It's an amazing platform.
Wow, I tell you something.
Yeah.
I talk about diversifying and make the most of what you can do because you used to travel a lot, prior to Corona.
I was on the road about 25 to 30 weeks a year, and then the years, the Trump years, it could be like 35 weeks. So to go from being on the road constantly to being home all the time, it's after the first few weeks, I was like, I gotta get on a plane.
Yeah.
And then you just realize, okay, this is a gift. I'm home. Let's leverage this as much as possible.
And so do you have like a studio at your house?
I have a TV studio at the house, and it's the White House press room set. It's a replica that was built, and it's great. And then I've upped I've got new lights since we're doing so much more now.
Yeah.
New lighting, updated a lot of stuff, made it look better. I have a green screen studio, and I also have an audio studio, which I've had for a while because I'm the voice of Trump on Planet America in Australia. Yeah. I'm also the voice of Trump on the Trump cast, and that's been ongoing for 2 years, actually more now. I think about it, and I've been getting a lot more voiceover work.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of voiceover work. So it's great to have everything there and to be self-contained. It just makes it so much easier.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, I was listening to LBC.
Like we do.
It should be a sponsor.
I'm eating a sausage roll.
You eat your sausage roll. I was listening to LBC. I was in the garage, tidying up the garage. And Nick Abbott, he's on at the weekend. He started talking about John and about, how great this Trump impersonator is. And he does his own sort of little version as well. And he has like a soundboard and he punches in sounds and everything. And I thought, oh, that's so funny. And so I just randomly got on Messenger and I messaged you and said, hey, what are you doing? I said, because this guy on LBC is just talking about you.
Right.
And funny, here's a number. Maybe call
Yeah, it was incredible.
And you're like, well, I'm just doing. You were just filming at the time. So I thought, well, see what happens. About 10 minutes later, you pop up on air on LBC. And I
had to verify it was me.
Yeah, oh, you did?
Yeah, they were like, how do we know it's really you? And I said, well, how about this? Does this sound like something everybody can do?
And they were like, oh,
yeah.
And then he was really shocked. He was like, I can't believe this. I was just talking about this man. And he's on the line.
Yeah, and it's, again, around the social media just around the world to be able to connect that quick.
Exactly. It's crazy how
crazy.
that
And I have a great following over there because of This Morning and the other morning show. I guess it's Piers' show.
Piers and then...
the women?
The women's show, yes.
Women behaving
Loose Women. I've been on there a couple times. I've done some promos for them. Yeah. And then the BBC had picked me up, and I did about 20 different bits on different game shows on different BBC.
Oh,
I don't know, BBC One, BBC Two. But when I was over there performing, I think it was in 2016. Yeah, it was right after Trump got elected. They gave me a tour. They gave me the royal tour of the BBC.
Oh, nice.
And I was with my brother Michael, who's a big English, loves The Who, and we're big English comedy people. But it was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And we went to the room where I guess King George did the speeches.
So you were at the on Regent Street there.
Yeah, we went to this massive complex, but then I was taken to this they don't really show these areas from what we were told. When we went in this area, I was like, this is incredible. We're standing in this room where true history was made in a country was held together with bubble gum and rubber bands and to get through this time, this dark time.
And that's just this show now.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah, so it was a great trip. I performed at the Dorchester, and I performed at another place and did some more TV appearances.
Now, your sister lives in England, correct?
Yes, she's been there. She married a Brit in the early 80s, and I think they've been there at least 40 years. Maybe 35, 40. Yeah. And it was great to go back, and I visited her in Somerset, and it's where the movie Hot Fuzz was shot.
I love that movie.
And when I was there, when we were at the cathedral that's there, which is just magnificent, we're walking down the street, and I'm like, this looks like a movie set. This town literally looks like a movie set. And they're like, yeah, well, they shot Hot Fuzz here.
Oh,
and I was just blown away.
Wow.
And it's such a, I've had very limited experience being there, but it's such a wonderful place. And what I was always amazed
It is, and that's why we all left.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. Like, the biggest export is people. Yeah. You guys put out a lot of people. I never understood of this tiny little...
We breed like rabbits.
Yeah. And you put this tiny little country, you can't swing a stick in New York without running into a bread. L.A., Florida, it's amazing.
Well, we got full, so they had to be like, all right, get off.
Some of them got to leave.
Everybody link arms and lean in.
Link arms and lean in.
There's so much talent. I'm just amazed by the amount of talent that has come out of this single United Kingdom.
Well said. That's the right show to be saying that line on.
It
Appreciate that.
I mean, when you look at just the percentage of people, the population that's there, and then here, I always felt the same way about Brooklyn. How many actors came out of Brooklyn? How many musicians came out of Brooklyn? And how many filmmakers? It's just there's these little pockets of places that just kind of develop amazing talent.
That's great. Where are we at now? Hour 17.
Oh, we're good.
Is this a telethon?
We are.
Now, do you... it can't be cheap doing, the costumes and the wigs. I mean...
No, the wigs are $4,000 each because they're handmade, and they take anywhere from 90 to 100 hours because every single one of those hairs is individually pulled. So there's a real big art to it. But the guy who made my first wig... Bob Kelly used to do all the wigs for Saturday Night Live, all the wigs for the Broadway shows. And when I first started doing Trump in 2004, it was just it was just voiceover stuff. The first season of The Apprentice had ended, and an agent called me and said, "Are you doing Trump yet?" And I said, I said he's in my head. I've been following him since like 85, 86.
Wow.
Because I was in Philadelphia and I wanted to be an actor in New York, and I was trying to learn more about New York currently.
Mm-hmm.
And the name that kept coming up was Donald Trump. And I remember, well, who is this guy? Who is this man, Trump? And he seemed to be like this businessman who had stepped out in front because, all the Astors and the Rockefellers and all these other people had kind of died off, and there weren't any big American businessmen who were on the forefront, and he was the one. Then Art of the Deal came out, and I was like, this guy's a really interesting guy. And I had just always followed him. And then I started working in Atlantic City, because where I lived in Philly, I was working in New York, working in Atlantic City, and working in the Poconos. Kind of a great central place to live.
Right.
So when Atlantic City opened, one of the big things was entertainment. So I started working there. And in 1990, I worked at Trump Plaza. And I performed there, and I got to meet him the first time. And then for his 55th birthday, I was Austin Powers. I co-hosted his 55th birthday, where we did this big bit where I got to meet him again, spent more time with him, did a bit where I jumped out of a cake, did the closing of the evening with him. So he's kind of always been in my radar. And when I went to get my first wig in 2005, 2006, in that range, Bob Kelly, I said, Bob, I need a wig. And Bob he was the greatest guy, and he loved actors. But the wig would have cost $7,000 because that's New York, and they're in Times Square. And I said, I do not have $1,000. That's like a house to me. So it was a struggling actor. And he said, well, I already have one Trump wig. I could sell you that, and we could do it on consignment. Do it over payments.
Get a wig on consignment, isn't it?
Oh.
I got my wig payment, like my car payment. I got my mortgage, and I got my wig payment.
My wig payment. And that wig was the wig. And I said, why do you have a Trump wig already? And he said, well, because we made it for that commercial, that Visa commercial, where Trump was up on top of the Chrysler building, and the Visa card flipped out of his hand, and he had to go into a dumpster to get the card. If you look that commercial up, it still exists. Well, this was the body double. It was his wig. So I bought that wig.
Seems like you should probably get that guy's number and actually make a couple for himself right now, because I mean it's all falling apart back here.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, the thing is, he uses like a semi-permanent rinse, so you'll notice his hair's different color every 2 weeks.
I try not to look that close.
So I have multiple wigs with slightly different styles and then slightly different colors.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's always, because every few years when I get a new one, the life cycle of the wigs is a number of years, because eventually it is human hair and it does dry out. A little bit. Yeah, you have to recondition it, recondition it. And there's a life expectancy to these things. They're a great investment because they're so authentic, and when you see them, they're theatrical
amazing.
wigs. I mean, when I shoot a
real.
movie, I went to England to shoot a film a couple of years ago, Purge of Thrones, and they used my wig. Because they said, your wig's better than anything we can get, because it just, it glues right on, and it was built in my head.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
That's great.
So who are you working on right now? Are you allowed to reveal anyone you're working on?
I'm always thinking of someone. I was thinking about Bill Barr, but the issue that I'm having, when I was a kid and I was doing all those impressions, those, James Cagney and James, Henry Fonda and Humphrey Bogart and all those people. And even when I was a kid, I used to do Columbo. I love that guy. Sir, I hate to bother you.
Oh, my God.
You said you were a vegan, but when I came in, you were having a ham sandwich. I'm a little confused. So,
how can you do that with the eye?
So good.
It's it's all those little mechanics you have to learn.
Oh my
God. But when I was a kid, and we had 3 networks in this country and 2 UHF stations. Pretty much the country watched the same stuff.
Yeah.
Now, no one watches the same stuff. We're so fractionalized as a society. Yeah. It's one of the reasons that Trump breaks through on so many levels, because he's,
you either love him or you hate him, but you watch him.
But you watch him because essentially you have to. There's very few movie stars that, when you think about someone like Humphrey Bogart, listen, folks, he had that great voice and the way he talked and everything. And James Cagney, but there's the stars that we have now, someone like Tom Hanks or Tom Cruise. Not that they're not imitatable, but their personalities don't really lend themselves to being impersonated.
Right.
And then as you get further and further out over time, like TikTok stars and YouTube creators and this thing, very few people know. You might be the biggest thing on TikTok, but large part of the population doesn't know who you
that's
are.
right, yeah.
And even if it's a news person, well, you have a portion of the population that only watches Fox, and you have a portion of the population that only watches CNN. Then you have a portion that doesn't watch anything.
Right.
And I remember when I used to do Guy Fieri, the people who knew Guy Fieri, and I still do him, but he had a network show for a little while. It was a game show, and a lot of people knew who he was. And once that show went off, it was like the awareness of who he was dropped. So it's a little tougher now to find a voice, because I'm always like, who can I do next? Who can I do next? What voice can I learn? And I'm always playing with voices,
Right.
because I'm always running voices together and trying to develop a new voice.
That's great.
I'm telling you, when I looked through your reel, I was just like, amazing.
Oh, no,
amazing,
it is,
amazing.
absolutely.
I mean, like, the spot. You obviously don't put any character out that you don't have down. I mean, it's obvious. It's so well put together.
Because I always try to look at it from the speech thing, because, you think about someone like Bill Clinton. He did this thing where he'd empty his lungs. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. So when he was talking, he was totally out of air. So he would just keep talking for like 2 hours. He have no oxygen in his lungs. How are you?
Yep,
So
that'll do it.
I'm always looking for those things that, the mechanical things in the voice, because, when I started doing Jay Leno, hey, I got doing good thing out with everything. Yeah. Because he done the thing because he had the lisp. So right away, I'm like, I had a speech impediment. So I hear, when someone has an impediment, I hear it like right away. So someone like Jay Leno, I'm kind of looking for that. Hey, you guys doing good to see you. And he does the thing where he goes, really high. And they go, real low. Hey, guys, how are you?
That's
so it's
so
up
good.
and down. So you're looking for like those vocal patterns.
So good. But
Yeah.
I think one thing what we'll take away from this, chit chat we're having is that you had a speech impediment, and now look where you are. Where your voice is so important.
That's amazing.
It's the main thing.
It's very inspirational.
Yeah.
So where can people what's the best place to find you?
The best place right now is go to Cameo and book a Father's Day video for your
Yes,
dad.
do it.
There you go.
And I'm currently, I'm number one in politics on Cameo.
Yeah.
And you can get you send me the information. I write a customized video shout out for your dad, for somebody's birthday, a lot of graduation stuff. I was doing a lot of COVID stuff for nurses and doctors, which was really nice. It was really gratifying to do those.
Yeah.
So that's the best place. And of course, I'm all over social media.
Yeah, we can't really not find you. That's the great thing. I mean, just anywhere.
I'm everywhere, and tons of video. If you want to see the videos, go to YouTube. You can find me there. And,
There's just a couple of people. Just want to. Shannon said. Shannon from Arizona on Twitter. She says she's here, and she said to say hello to you.
Hi, Shannon.
And then also, Shannon also asked John how much Luke Skywalker loves him.
Mark Hamill started following me a couple of years ago.
Oh, nice.
And every few weeks he'll repost something on Twitter. He's really big on Twitter. So it is, and then he started messaging me. So he was messaging me on Twitter, and we were messaging back and forth. And I was like, I would go,
this is Luke
I'm having a
Skywalker.
Conversation with Luke Skywalker. And there's a special it means a lot to me and here's why. When I was in high school, I was the AV guy in 7th and 8th grade. I set up all the projectors and the Betamax and all this stuff, and did it with my friend Andy Biddle. And the guy who ran that department, Mr. McClellan, who I'm friends with on Facebook to this day, which is amazing, he would say, I want to, you guys did all this work, and I want to give you a gift. Yeah. What would you like? And he was the first one who introduced me to Variety. He would post the numbers. Like, I knew nothing about this, coming from a blue-collar family. But he would post Variety, and you would see how much movies made. And then I was reading about this movie called Star Wars. And they're making this movie Star Wars in Tunisia or someplace, wherever they were shooting. I remember reading about it and going, oh, this sounds really cool. And it had literally come out near the end of our school year. Yeah. And I said, will you take us to see Star Wars? And he took us to see Star Wars. And it was Andy and I, Mr. McClellan. And I remember I sat there when that battleship came in. I left that theater going, I've never seen a movie like this. Yeah. I've never seen anything like I've watched lots of sci-fi, but they were so goofy, by comparison. And then you watch this film and it was real, and people are drinking coffee, and there was this realism to the story, and there was a deeper story. Yeah. A much deeper story. And these myths were part of it. I didn't get that at the time. Years later, Darth Vader, Dark Father.
Yes.
All those things come together. But to see this guy who's not that much older than me, who's been essentially a part of my movie history, and to be able to communicate with him,
It's amazing.
it's amazing. And I feel very gratified, and I feel very, I'm very lucky to do what I do. I make a living performing. My goal is to make people laugh. One of the things I want to say when you talked about me doing Trump, I don't want to alienate anybody. My goal is to entertain the entire room. Yeah. I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
I don't understand why some people have to voice their political views.
I know. Because you're so good, they think you are him.
And that is the factor, because you really you evoke a response, whether it be good, bad, or ugly.
Yeah. You're that good.
Yeah.
So
You're
because
that good.
if it wasn't, then people were like, whatever.
Yeah, they would just, But my goal is not to, I have no agenda with him politically.
Yeah.
My goal is just to entertain
And you
people
do.
with all the characters.
Yeah.
I don't look at him any differently than all the
And if
characters.
anyone's feeling down, just watch any of your impersonations. They're so
No,
funny.
they are. They're very
Material's
Thanks, baby.
great.
Yeah. Well, damn it,
Well,
above the flavor
do,
town.
do stay with us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we've got this competition that we have to do.
We do.
And,
It's a
and I
great book.
feel
This is the
right
longest
now,
show
it's a
in
beautiful
history
book.
right now.
I feel that if you're still with us and still watching the show,
We owe you
after
money.
3 days of this show, we do. We owe you money. After the 3 days that this show has been going on for, in fact, we may as well just run into next week's show already, really. I think we're pretty much there. So if you're still here, and we are going to run this competition right now for you to be able to win this signed copy of Mary Wilson's book. She was on last week's show, and she posed a question for us. And the deal is that if you write the answer in the comments here, and bearing in mind there's 4 people watching now, it's going to be, you've got a pretty decent chance. And I think we can remember the question. And you know what I was thinking, because at the top of the show it was kind of funny because Mary actually called me as I was doing my intro. I'm trying to see which number she actually called me from.
This Bamberger's making me happy.
You know what I'm going to do?
So good.
Let's just do this. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to give her a call. And maybe she can ask the question herself.
Okay, that'll
if
be
she
good.
answers, she might not answer. But if not, then we'll answer it. But she called me, so why not?
So get ready.
We'll see.
This will be the first correct answer.
It will.
We'll
but
win.
Hold on. She's not going to answer, is she? Come on, Mary. Answer the phone.
Your call has been forwarded.
Oh, she's calling back.
Oh, yay.
Hey, Mary.
Hi there. Sorry.
Hi. Oh, no worries, no worries.
There.
Hey, listen, we're actually we're live on Spill the Tea right now. Yes, there you go. And we were just about to do the competition for your book.
Oh, okay.
And so, the thing is, we know that you had a fantastic question for our audience. So we're wondering whether you could actually ask the question that somebody's going to answer to be able to win this book. Would you? Because we sort of remembered, but we figured you'd be really awesome if you wouldn't mind just asking the question.
What is the question?
What is the question? Well,
what is the question?
I think it referred to the number of people in the group originally.
Oh, was that it? Oh, okay. Well, someone's going to get that right away. But okay, how many members?
No, well,
Hmm?
not that, but I think it was more so the name, wasn't it?
Tell her she's on speakerphone in case
Yeah,
you don't
no,
know.
she knows she's on.
She
She's
does.
on.
Hi, Mary, by the way.
So I think I think it was going to be.
You're not live at this very moment.
Yep, we are live at this very moment.
We're live.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So now you're asking me what was the name of the 4th member?
Yes. So that is the question.
Okay.
All right. And I'm not asking you because you can't tell us because the people are going to actually. But that was the question. So the idea is now is Sam's got the phone and she's going to see who the first person to write the correct name of the 4th member of the Supremes was originally, like that, right at the beginning, right?
Well, no. See, that's the thing. There were 2 4th members. So the question would have to be, I would think,
okay,
what was the name of the 4th member of the Supreme? Period.
Okay.
Because it's kind of it could be a trick question.
It's a trick. Look at you giving us trick questions. Well, I mean, Sam's looking, and I think you may have stumped some people.
Wait a
actually.
minute.
But our show's been going on for like 4 hours so far, so probably nobody else is watching anymore. It's been a long one today.
That's fine.
Oh my God!
All right. Well, and I know that we've been basically playing telephone tennis here, so I will give you a call back after the show, and then we can have our.
That sounds great. So let me know what the answer is. That's you have decided upon. But will you ask me or?
Well, if somebody actually puts the answer in now, then we might.
People are getting tagged, so obviously they're tagging.
They're tagging
fans.
people. They're trying to get
Fans
some answers going
of the
here.
Supreme. So they obviously.
Well, I can wait a second if you want me to.
All right, yeah, and then we can maybe you can give a little shout out to the.
So.
Oh, so who we got?
Let's go back to here. So this is where we were. Whoa, hang on a minute here.
Oh, but no, there's an answer. No.
Right.
I think we've actually got some.
So after the Skywalker is where the answers start coming in.
So I've got after the Skywalker. So I've got one here. The first answer is Betty McGlown.
Wrong.
Oh,
wrong.
Oh, scroll
man.
Down.
I shouldn't say it that way, but that's not the correct answer.
Okay. Then we got
the question.
Okay, so then we got Cindy Birdsong.
No, that's not correct either.
Oh my gosh.
Next one's here.
Well, and we know it's not Florence because Florence was one of the original three. Mary Wells.
No, Mary Wells was never in the Supremes.
Oh.
No.
Okay. All right.
Wow. Where are our Supreme fans? They know the answer.
I know. I put it out to that group too. You know. I've got a first name here, but I think we're probably going to need both names. So make sure Mick particularly. Make sure we got to have both names in here. Otherwise, it's a little vague.
Well, you can let me know what was the first name. That might be helpful.
Well, it might, but I don't know. I mean, that's what Google's for, isn't it? Well, and Mick's just throwing out everybody's name now. He's just like, Dave, Stewart. No, he's not really.
Eddie Van Halen.
Eddie Van Halen, yes. No, see again, sorry, Sandy, it's not Florence Ballard because she was one of the original. She was the three, but there was a fourth member.
Keep going. Come on, we've got to get a winner today.
We have. Linda Lawrence.
No, Linda was in the 70s.
Oh, Linda's. See,
wow.
they're on the right track. See,
Not really.
Well, I mean, they're with the right group at least. At least they're doing their research as such. But so we haven't missed anybody, have we? No, there's definitely from here. Come on, Kevin, you got to have another go. We got to get another go.
Open them up, yeah.
Oh, Cherie Payne.
ASMR.
That was in the 70s.
That was in the 70s.
Wow.
Guys, you're letting us down here.
These are not the fans of these Supremes, are they?
I know.
No, some of these. Barbara Martin.
Don't come in your
That's
coffee
Barbara.
or your
Yeah,
tea.
Barbara was the fourth member of the Supremes.
There you go. So we have a winner.
Oh,
we do.
Who won it?
Shannon Foran. So Shannon has finally, after all of that, and I'm just going to make sure nobody else said that so that we can't be accused of saying, I already said that. No, that's right. That's right. Shannon Foran, you said Barbara Martin and Mary Wilson.
And you see, the reason being is that even though Betty was the fourth member of the Primettes, she was never signed as a Supreme. We only started the Supremes when Barbara joined the group, and she was still with us from the Primettes to the Supremes, and she was signed on as a Supreme. So she was the only fourth member of the Supremes. But the original fourth member of the Primettes was Betty, whoever said Betty McGlowan.
Yeah, Kevin said that.
She was the fourth member of the Primettes. She was never signed as a Supreme. She had left the group by that time.
I'm so pleased we actually got you on the phone because I actually have a feeling we would have ended up getting to a bit of deep water here.
Yeah,
because
you never. You need a judge on those.
We really needed to hear it right from the source there. So thank you so much, Mary. We appreciate that. So it's Shannon Foran has won your book, the one you signed for us the other week.
She said, thank you, Mary.
Congratulations, Shannon, and thank you for knowing your history, which is very wonderful. Thank you.
All righty. And I'll give you a call back after the show.
Okay, honey. Thank you, guys.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Congratulations. Congratulations,
All
Shannon.
right.
Speaking
Well
to
done,
music
Shannon.
history.
That
Shannon,
really was interesting. I'm really pleased you
shoot
didn't
us
have
a
to do that.
message on our page, and we'll get coordinated with you.
We'll hook up and make sure you can get this copy of Mary's
See,
book.
it's a complicated history.
It is.
I'm glad
I'm really pleased.
glad she was on the phone.
We could have been in trouble.
So
then.
John likes hobnobs.
Oh my God.
Who doesn't love a hobnob? You want a
Right?
hobnob?
They're
Do you
I
delicious.
do want a hobnob.
Have
The
a hobnob.
Battenberg cake is so sweet. I've got me.
Are you going to
Thank
try
you.
You need to try the Battenberg.
Well,
just bite into it?
Yeah.
I think we should probably think about wrapping up the show since it's now Wednesday.
Yeah, and because I have to go and get my teeth cleaned.
You do.
too.
There you go.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
So I know you've got a
For a
mouthful
British
of
person,
a
all
load of
right.
hobnob. Oh, you had the Battenberg. So
Oh my God! I just got a cavity.
I know, with the
my Lord.
marzipan.
I know.
Holy mackerel!
Yeah, it's really sweet.
I'm going into diabetic shock. Excuse me.
But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much to
thank
Leroy
you.
in Brighton.
Yes.
And to John here in the studio.
And
This
Eve,
was-
our BFF.
This was quite an international, truly
It
an
really was.
international
Thanks to Mary
show.
Wilson for joining
Mary
us.
Wilson, and we had Star Wars.
We did.
had it all
Congratulations
in
to
today.
Shannon on winning the book. And maybe you'd like to help us with a bit of an outro.
Absolutely. Who would you like to say goodbye?
It's up to you.
Well, I just want to let you know that I was so excited to be on Spill the Tea. And this will be the most highly watched, highly rated episode in the history of the show. I have to tell you, it's going to be really big for you, too. It's going to be really, really big. And I love the British people. And I don't mind that you stole our language. I don't mind.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Exactly. All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Thanks for being here with us.
We'll see you next week. And who knows what will happen.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Take care. See you.